All right, let's jump right into the message here. Okay, so we have Page of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so something's coming into union here, into harmony. Okay, this is another twin flame reading. You are balancing your earth energy here with the Page of Pentacles. I feel as though the person I'm talking to, so I'm connecting with the twin flame relationship here. I feel like I'm talking to both sides. So either I'm talking to your inner masculine, or like maybe both of you are watching this video. It's weirdly what I'm getting. You are coming into balance in the physical. Okay, so what does that mean energetically for you? Physically, the element of the physical is related to earth energy, right? The earth. So we have to go through the four elements in order to ground them all into the earth. So you are at the last element. You are now balancing and grounding earth energy. Maybe you don't have a ton of earth energy in your chart, or maybe you have a lot of earth energy in your chart. I'm getting both of those. So probably this twin flame connection has one of you has a lot, one of you doesn't have much earth energy. So this earth energy was probably a source of conflict in your relationship, okay? With the Six of Pentacles reversed. It was like give and take, such a flip-flop. So earth energy is, when it's grounded with air, water, and fire, becomes a very stable source of energy, okay? When it is not grounded into the other three elements, it's either too slow or chaotic. So too much earth energy becomes stagnancy. You can't move. You get stuck. You have too much feeling. Generally associated with ADHD. Too much feeling. You get stuck, and you can't, a lack of mindfulness because there's not enough mind. You're too stuck in your body. Which a lack of mindfulness represents or manifests as ADHD if you get to the core root of it. When the other side, if you have not enough earth energy, you have too much mind, too much thinking, and you're going to have OCD-like symptoms. You're going to not be able to let things go. Things get stuck in your head, okay? Because you can't connect them to your feelings, so they have no place to go. Because when your thoughts connect with your feelings, you have, that's the congruency that tells you if it's true or not. If you don't have connection between your thoughts and feelings, you won't know if something's true. That is your guide. You won't be able to say, oh, that feels right, that feels real, that feels like the truth, that's what I like. If there's no connection between the 5D, your higher self, and the 3D, your lower self, your body and your mind. So 5D, your mind, sorry, bumpy road. 3D, your lower body. If you cannot connect those through connecting your thoughts with your feelings, you are not accessing your fourth dimension, your heart, okay? And when you're not accessing your heart, you have no idea what you like, okay? You don't know. So you're gonna be guided by your shame in your lower body or your guilt in your upper body, because you're not gonna know. So you're gonna be guided by intuition in your lower body, or your mind, your higher mind in your upper body. So spirit. Yeah, spirit or intuition. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so the cross is something that I just feel guided to say. Right when I had my awakening, I felt like, why is the cross like out of balance? Like obviously the body, our center looks higher, but it's not supposed to be. That is like the masculine ego cross, okay? Like that is when the cross is up, we are moving to make it an actual cross when it's equal, okay? Masculine, feminine, and all the 4 elements. Right now, the bottom of the cross, these are the masculine elements, air and fire, and then there's not much room for earth and water, okay? So emotion and longevity, like the future. Earth is like a really future energy. It's like, it makes you think about why you're doing. Fire and air are instant energies. They're very impulsive. They are very connected to ADHD. They're like, if you have too much of them, you're gonna be now. You're not gonna think about the future. You're just gonna do what you feel like you have to do right now. You're gonna use up all the energy you have right now. So if you have a disconnect and you don't have enough water or earth in your chart to balance out your fire and air, you're going to be a very impulsive person that generally goes fast and then burns out, fast and burns out, fast and burns out. So you're probably drawn to a deep earth energy person to help you balance yourself. Okay, not to be reliant on them to do it for you, but to get the mirrored image of what you are missing. Okay, but if you're in a twin flame dynamic, you didn't pick somebody that is the perfect balance of earth or water. You picked someone who overuses them. Okay, so you underuse them, they overuse them. So maybe, I think we're talking about water here too. So the feminine elements, and that's all a twin flame connection really is the masculine elements of fire and earth, fire and air, versus the feminine elements of water and earth. And you're not supposed to have 2 of them. You're supposed to learn to balance all of them together. And if you're in a twin flame connection, it's because you are lacking something and they have too much of the other thing. So I feel like you have fought to the death about your twin flame connection and learning to harmonize it, okay? The one thing that you did not agree on, and I'm getting the 7 of Cups here, is like too many choices. So you're like, he was going, or he or she, the person with too much earth or water in their chart, well, generally is considered feminine energy, but this totally could be masculine, a man. It's not a gender thing. They are going too slow. So they're like the turtle, okay? And you, or I feel, but it could be opposite, have too much fire and air. So you were like, let's go, come on, let's go. Like, you're not, why are you going so slow? And every time you pulled to go forward because he was, or they were going too slow, you both like broke. Like, it was like, as soon as you start to work towards something, someone pulls too hard, another one pulls back, and then you break again. So you start getting closer, and then you like try to do something together, like in the physical. So you try to create something together, like maybe a house project or a business or just, harmony. And then you start to lean, like, come on, hurry up, you're going too slow. And then as soon as they feel that pressure, that pull, they started to pull back, and it broke you every time, okay? And this break is like a physical break. So this is going to create separation in the relationship, probably physically, at least emotionally, and for sure like mentally and energetically. And like, this was blocking your heart chakra, okay? This energy. So you I just felt a shift there, so hopefully that shifted for you. Yes. Okay, so you shifted the energy inside yourself, and I talked about this last video with this shame energy. So when you're too much in your body, or you're in fight or flight, okay? So lack of earth energy creates fight or flight, right? It's like now, I have to survive now, and there's no future. There's just now. You use all your resources, all your time, all your energy now. You don't have to worry about tomorrow, because there's no tomorrow, right? When you have no connection to earth, you have no longevity, to stability, to security, to length. You are like one-dimensional, okay? When you start connecting with the fourth element, Earth, which is to me the last element in the pyramid, you start to get fourth dimensional energy where you can start to see the third dimension clearly, okay? That's what 4D is, when you see the third dimension. Sorry, this is a lot of mathematical energy going on in my head right now. Yes, so this survival energy, because you were out of your heart center. So when you're out of your heart center, you literally have to rely on your intuition. And this message came up last video. You have to rely on your intuitions because you don't have any guide. Like, there's nothing to tell you what to do. Okay, and your intuition is like a very overprotective angel, okay? It will be like, well, careful, oh, you know, and if you're hyper attuned to it, I should say it only does that when you're hyper attuned to it. So if you're hyper focused on your intuition, it's going to be extra loud. It's going to be really overprotective. When you do finally get back into your heart, your intuition relaxes, and it can kind of just says, ooh, it's like a ooh, whoa, it kind of tells you like that. But when you're in fight or flight mode, when you're out of your heart center, which is what fight or flight creates, when you're in your lower chakras and you're just surviving, not worrying about tomorrow, then, you know, you're constantly looking, your intuition's just constantly trying to keep you alive, because you don't know how to keep yourself safe, essentially. So it's exactly what it needs to do to keep you safe. It's going to get really loud, you know, and you don't trust yourself because you probably can't, you know, and that's fair. And so you're living in your lower chakras trying to survive, okay? That's how I think you've lived for a while, maybe on and off your whole life. Okay, the lower chakras are masculine energy, they're more dense. That's earth, or fire and air live in the lower chakras. And once you start to ascend, you get into the higher chakras, the feminine energy, the water and the earth. Okay, that's feminine energy. You don't have access to those, you don't have access to your feelings or to stability or time, then you're just going to be living in the now and survival, okay? I just passed my turn. So, yes, a new direction. There's so many elements coming together here, so just, sorry, bear with me as I bring them together. Yeah, the spirit is showing me the spiral, the Fibonacci sequence is so relevant, and the golden ratio, this is all coming together right now for somebody, and maybe you don't understand what that means, but it's an energetic union within yourself that creates harmony and homeostasis and a frequency of God. You know, it's divinity. It's when you step into your divinity. It's when you become your God-like self. So you are your own source. You're connected to your source, I should say. And you just live life from that power. And when you meet somebody who's in that place, your jaw drops. You can feel their energy field is so loud and strong and secure, like a golden brick. And that's what it is. And Spirit had the analogy of swimming in gold the other day, and that's exactly what it is. It's so thick and so strong, it's so balanced in its masculine and feminine energy that it's we don't even understand it, because it's thick sounds like a negative word, but when it's balanced in harmony with the feminine energy, it's the most stabilizing, harmonious energy that you can attune to in this world, okay? And that's the God frequency of zero, of the neutral zone, of the center of your heart. That's where that exists. Okay, so Spirit just bringing me back here to Yes, so when you're in your lower chakras, you're in, anything below your heart chakra is considered masculine energy, and it's considered like you're living in survival. So you're going to be constantly checking your intuition to tell you what to do. And that's what we talked about last video, is when you're constantly checking your intuition, you're not trusting yourself. So essentially you're tuning into the energy of shame, okay? Like, I don't trust myself, I'm bad. To get out of your heart chakra, there's this fear that's caused you to come out of it, okay? And that fear is going to be rooted in some form of shame, something to do with you believing you're invalid, okay? And we talked about this, and that's just like the core root of anything. And that fear essentially comes from the fear of God, and this is like so powerful. I even get nervous talking about it. It deserves its own video for sure. But so you feel the pressure to be human, and that fear caused you to feel, sometimes we take that fear and we, put it to use. But when that fear becomes too great, this fear to be human and to do what you're supposed to do, and all of the stress and pressure that comes with choosing to come into this world, this, fourth dimensional, third looking world, where you forget who you were, and then you have to balance yourself to remember. Like, that's a huge thing, and our soul is still present and aware. And sometimes when we come into this world, it's too overwhelming, and that fear starts to cripple us, and that fear starts to make us feel like we can't do it, we're not capable, we're not. And that incapability, that fear of failure, essentially starts to, manifest even bigger. Like, well, why can't I do it? Why can't? This is all on a soul level. You're not going to be aware of this fully, but it's going to be somewhere inside of you, okay? And I'm getting like my nervous system's just shivering right now, like, because this is the core. This is the root of all. It's the bottom level. Like, we are here at the core root of all incongruence, and that pressure starts to build. Like, why can't I do this? Like, why am I not able to do this? Oh, there must be something wrong with me. Okay, well, that makes sense. There's something wrong with me. And then as soon as you decide that there's something wrong with you, boom, you get a blockage of shame in your lower chakras. That fear manifests as shame in the physical vessel, nervous system. Okay, so that's going to be present in the physical, in the third dimension. Now your fear has become a physical thing. But fear actually is the absence of energy. Okay, it creates a vortex, like a black hole, but there's no energy, there's no light in there. There's an absence of light, so it collapses all light inside of it. Okay, so it becomes a negative force in your field. And when you're in survival mode, guess what? You're searching for anything that's bad or scary. So you're constantly, your source. So your source is an energy field. Your point of your soul, your consciousness, your awareness moves around. Okay, but when you're in survival mode, it's in the lower chakras, and it's just humming around the lower chakras. So it's searching for anything that's telling it it's bad. Okay, I'm bad. Oh, bad. Yep, I'm bad. I know I'm bad because I'm screwing this up, because I can't do this, because it's too bad and something's wrong with me. And you're just like constantly fearing the presence of God, essentially, because you're like, I can't be that good. Like, I'm not that good. I can't do this. Like, this is too big. This is too big for me. I can't, and you decided that, and you become identified with your shame, okay? Your fear, but your fear created shame. Essentially, now you are fearing God, and God is you're not capable of doing what you're supposed to do here in your God-like self, okay? And that disconnection causes you to forget, everything. And there might be some level of awareness of this, throughout your life, and it slowly fades. For me, like, I always, when I was starting to be 12, I would say things like, oh, my innocence is going away, like my light's dimming. And I knew what it meant. I just didn't know how to bring it into this world to make it make sense. So maybe you've had something similar to that. Because my shame started to be activated. Like, what's wrong with me? I feel like there's something wrong with me. And sometimes it happens as early as like 2. This is happening. So you starting to become unconscious at a very, very young age. And you don't have to be aware of this on a conscious level. This will be deeply subconscious, but you can feel it in your field. And when I'm talking about it now, you probably are like, you can sense it in your energy field. Yeah, so this fear of God is causing you to be disconnected from your source. Okay, so now you're in survival mode, and lots of people are. 100% of the population nearly is living in their lower chakras. Like, they don't have access to anything higher. And sometimes they choose enlightenment, and they just like jump, and they just like choose the higher chakras, miss the heart, and now they're this enlightened master just suppressing their lower self or their inner child. And it's no better, okay? It's spiritual bypassing, wrapped up in the illusion of enlightenment, and it is just as toxic for the development of the universe. So we can't do that. In order to get back into our middle, we have to bring our awareness back to our heart. What do I like? Okay, I have been identifying with my shame. I have been living inside my shame. I have to break out of my shame to come back into my heart, so I can observe my shame from a 4th dimensional perspective, from my heart, and looking down 222 on the clock. So you're breaking out of your shame right now. You're in your heart. You're remembering what you like. You're observing your shame from a 3rd perspective. Now you can see, oh, that was my shame talking. So you don't even need to go there, because that level of awareness alone will keep you out of it. And that's where you are right now. And this video is getting long, but holy moly, temperance. Is that not like the perfect card right now? So like extreme internal and external balance coming into harmony here, like in the most profound way. So I don't know what's going to manifest from this, but it's going to be glorious. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.